I wanted to do a live and show you how I made this cute bookmark using a few of the items that have been listed recently. And one of them is this set of stencils. This is from Photoplay and it's part of their new release. And one cool thing about this set is that it brings two different stencils. And as you can tell, just by looking and hearing this is a way thicker stencil than usual stencils. They are mylar material and they're very thick. So what I like about them is that not only they will be more sturdy to work with, but they will last you longer too. And this one has two sets that you can use together or individually, and they also coordinate with this die set here, which has all of these little dies that match the stencils. So with those, I made these a little earlier, and these are the leftovers that I had, which you can use for cards, layouts, or bookmarks like the ones that I make here. And the cool part is that you can use any color that you want. So not necessarily just for the fall. You can make these bright green and use them for spring, or any birthday cards, whatever you want to use them for. So but of course I chose these colors for kind of like the fall. But the following ones that I'm gonna do here live, I think I want to try like more yellow to orange combination instead of the purples, just to kind of see what they look like. And for the little message, I used the speech bubble set that I also have available here in the inventory albums, and I used that one that says hello friend. Oh, and of course this little sleeve is also available in my album. I sell these as well in case you're looking to make for gifts for the holidays, or if you do craft fairs. These are real simple to make and you can sell them. It's a good item to have for low price. That way you can have different price points for your customers. For this one, I will be using Nina 80-pound paper. I just like it's sturdy enough for the die cuts, and also it looks great with the ink. I like to use the little board here just because it has some nice sturdy magnets and they can hold the stencil pretty nicely. So the way I did those, and I think they work pretty well, I just did all of them at the same time. So I placed the stencil here, but of course if you just need a few or just all the same, you can just do one at a time. But to save some time, I did them all, and then I uncover all the inks that I will be using. See, this one's new. I've had it for a while, haven't used it because I hardly ever use color inks, but this is a good way to use your supplies. So I'm using these brushes just because they allow me to get in the little small thin areas of the stencils, so I like those. But you can use sponges, you can use anything that you have. All right, so let me just start. I never even used this color, so let me see how it looks. That's a pretty color, perfect for the fall. So I just kind of add, not the same to each because you want them to have like a different pattern, but just kind of play around, and there's really no right or wrong, and that's what I like this type of technique and stencil, because it allows you to create really cool looking projects that looks like you spend a lot of time thinking about it, but in reality it's fairly simple to make. So you see they all have the same colors, but they are having a different look because it depends on where you put the darker color to create a shadow. And of course you can make them just one color if you want. And you can, if you don't have that many different types of ink, as you can see, this is lighter because I went a second time with the same color. Let me go a third time on the very tip right here. And you can see the gradient. So you don't necessarily have to have a bunch of different inks. You could achieve different shades with the same ink. You just have to kind of allow it to dry a little bit before you add the next color up. So let me try one of the orange here that I have. Oh, that's beautiful, but that's a lot darker. You see that? So, and just play around. And you could do just half of it if you want. You could do the gradient this way or going up and down. You get to be as creative as you can. And I just love the fall because these colors are just gorgeous. I love working with these colors. But like I said, you could easily change this to a spring card just by using greens. I probably wouldn't use that one or this one because that looks more like for fall, but the other ones, they will work perfectly. It's so pretty. And if you have any questions about any of this, just leave them in the comments and I'll come back after I finish the project and kind of go over any questions. Just right now I can't see any questions being asked. Let's see. Let me try how this one looks just by adding some of that same color right on top. So you can see once again that you can create different shades. Look how beautiful that color is. Just by applying the same color. While that dries, let me add a little bit more to this side. So pretty. So let me add a little bit darker at the very end. So you can see the very pretty gradient. You see that? Once it dries, I'll put it closer up and you'll probably be able to see a little better. But yeah, so that's as far as you have to do as far as coloring. Let me put this lids back on. And I see making a lot more of these because I love how quick and easy that is. All right, so depending on what color, what type of ink you're using, some inks are water soluble, so you'll be able to just clean your stencil just with water. This inks in particular, I need to use an ink cleaner. And by the way, I forgot to mention, the stencils are numbered. Look how gorgeous that looks. They're numbered here, so you know that this one goes first, and then this one on top to put the details. So I'll clean this one later, but basically I just spray it with ink cleaner and then just with a baby wipe, or you could rinse it under the sink, however you want to clean it. So you just line them up like this, and we go again and secure it. These magnets are super strong, but they don't pinch you like you know how other magnets, God forbid you get your finger stuck in the middle, they will probably make you bleed. These are made so they don't pinch your fingers. So, and they're large enough for me to grab. So I really like those. So for the veins, you can use a brown or any other color that you want. I will just use black for the veins, just so they could really pop from that against that background color. And I'll be using once again one of these brushes, and simple, you just go over it like this. And if you want it dark, you go over it again, but I think once is dark enough, especially since it's such a light color at the bottom. So you just go over like this. And it could also, if you're using this type of colors, you could use brown, like I said. Or, I wonder how purple would have looked. That probably would look great as well. You can just kind of play around and see, experiment with the color combinations, see what works best for your project. And once again, you just kind of, I like the brushes. You see how thin those little lines at the bottom are? The bristles in the brush go in there very easily. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Look how cool. Of course, you can fussy cut all of these, but I do have the matching dies. And I do have one more set, I believe, of the dies. That's it. I sold the other ones already. So what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of cutting around so it can fit in my cutting plate. And let me show you something, another tip. You see that number here? It's based on the number of the, as they appear in the stencil. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's number 2. So I know that that goes here. And I also put the number on the right hand side, so I know that that's the top. So I hope that makes sense. Once again, so that's number 5. So it's this one. And it's on the right hand side, so I know that that's the top of the, you know, this one's an easy one to figure out, but like these two, you would kind of have to guess at first. But if you have the label there, there's no guessing. Another way that you can use these is you can cut the paper first in a blank sheet of paper, and then color over that with your stencil. You can do that too, if that's easier. So here are the leaves. Look how cute, you guys. Isn't it cute? And if you want to mix, here are the other colors that I made earlier. Isn't that gorgeous? I love all the fall colors. So this little paper pad I got from Tuesday Morning many years ago, I think. Yeah, so it's 5.5 and 1.75. So if you're just making a bunch of these, of course you would just cut all the paper that you need, so you don't have to be cutting one by one. Okay, so this is like the very easy part. I will also stamp Hello Friend. And once again, that's from the speech bubble set that I have available. I have a few of those, including the die. So it's a good set to have. And I love the font. It's very different. So I have that. And now I'm just going to place the leaves. And this one, I will leave some kind of like out of the page. So I think that kind of looks okay. So I will glue them. You just insert it, and these come like this. You just tear them up like this, And what I like, they already have the little opening here, so you don't have to punch anything. You carefully insert your paper, and to make it easier on yourself, it's always easier to use cardstock, not very thin paper, just because it will take you a little longer to insert if it's a really thin paper. You know what I mean? I will be putting to use all this ribbon that I have. So now I'm just gonna cut these a little shorter, kind of like this. And now you have your cute fall bookmark. So I hope you liked that. And remember, I have, if you're interested in the dies, I only have one more die. But I do have, if you like the stencils, I have a few of those. So they are up on my website, gluegundiva.com, and then click on shop, and then it will take you to my shop. I hope you have a great weekend, and if you have any questions on any of these products, please comment below.